Well, addiction begins with a hope that something out there can fill up the emptiness inside. A lot of people walking on the streets of Ghana are empty, and they feel using one drug or the other can fill them up or make them whole. But that is not the case. That is impossible. Today we talk to a young man who was in a relationship with Mary Jane, and fortunately for him, he's broken up with Mary Jane. He has a book called Breaking Up with Mary Jane. We find out everything about this book and everything about his life. The author of Breaking Up with Mary Jane is here with me. Welcome to the show, John Hammett.
Thank you, Jackie.
It's good to have you here.
Same here.
I mean, I've known you for a while now, and I didn't know you were going through this situation. But so Mary Jane here, or as put in the book, is weed.
Yes, marijuana.
Marijuana. Let's start with how you started drugs. How did drugs start for you?
Well, okay, so thanks for having me here once again. And I started smoking when I was in school. I first started smoking cigarettes whilst I was in secondary school. And so when I got to the university, my level 100, I got introduced to marijuana, and then I pretty much loved it better than the cigarettes. And so that's when it started, from my level 100 in school. And then I started smoking throughout, and also experiencing with other drugs like tramadol and stuff like that.
Did somebody introduce you to it, or you discovered it yourself? Because probably you were doing alcohol and it wasn't enough for you, or you were doing something, it wasn't enough, so you added it. Did you discover it yourself, or it was somebody that invited or introduced you to marijuana? Yeah, so in my hostel back in school, almost all the guys were already smoking marijuana, and then there was always an argument that marijuana was far better than cigarettes because it's natural and it grows from the ground. It doesn't have any chemicals and all that. So I was also a very curious person by then, and given that I was already smoking cigarettes and taking alcohol, I didn't see it as a big deal. So I think it was one party in the hostel one evening, and then I decided to give it a try. And like I said, as a young person, at what age did you start alcohol, first of all?
15, 16.
15 years. As a young person at the age of 15, what triggered you to want to drink alcohol? 15, you were in JSS at the time?
I had completed BEC, the night of my BEC. That's when I tasted alcohol, because I was curious, and it was something that was always out there. People were talking about it in movies and all that. So after BEC, I said, I'm now an adult. Like, I finished JSS, I'm entering secondary school. So I wanted to know how it feels before I even go into the secondary school. So that night I drank alcohol.
Proud to you drinking alcohol, doing weed and all of it. Have you read anything in the past? Had you read any book or any thing telling you about the effects of marijuana? Or have you even heard about the effects of marijuana?
Yeah.
Proud to trying it.
Yeah, definitely. There was even a guy that was living behind our house back then. He was crazy. I mean, he was kind of mad, and then everybody was saying it's because of marijuana.
Right.
He quit smoking, and then he became mad. So there was always people talking about marijuana getting you mad and all that. But I think the reason why I even got addicted to it easily is because when I got to university, I saw guys smoking marijuana, and they were still cool guys. They were still dressed neatly. They were still, So I was like, if this was smoking marijuana and they're still looking good, then it means marijuana can make you get mad. And so,
did it have a toll on your life? Did it affect your life in any way? Because you had said that you had seen your roommates and your colleagues do it as well, and they were dressed properly. They were all right. They were going and coming. Yeah. And so, did it have any effect on you as a person?
It definitely had effects on me as a person. In school, I failed miserably in my level 200.
You never heard that it makes you smarter? It didn't make you smart?
That's a deception. It's a lie. When you smoke, you think you know everything, or you think everything is smooth, but you're living in a cloud, so it's not real. You might read something and start getting creative ideas and all that, but you realize that it's not substantial. It's just something that is in your mind. And so people deceive you that if you smoke, you're smarter and all that. But when you smoke, you lose focus, you lose ambition. You don't even care about school anymore. What happens is that we didn't even care about lectures anymore. All we cared about was to be in the hostel, get drunk, smoke, and all that.
Be high.
Yeah, I failed miserably, and then at that point, I realized it wasn't helping me. But I was already addicted, and it's all I needed. So I didn't really make a change until just last year when I finally quit.
So it took you how many years to realize that you had to put a stop to it? You were 15 years when you started drinking.
Yes.
But when you started the weed or marijuana,
I was 18 years.
You were 18 years.
Yes.
So how long did it take you?
Almost 6 years.
Almost 6 years.
Yeah.
And at what point, or what really happened? I'm sure there might be an incident. What happened that you told yourself that no, John, you need to stop this? Did you get drunk? I mean, were you over high, or did you had an accident? What exactly happened?
Well, I didn't have any of that, but like I said, I already noticed it wasn't helping me in the second or third year
in uni.
But last year, particularly in March, I came across a sermon by Dr. Mensa Otabil.
Right.
And then after listening to him, I realized I needed to make some changes in my life if I wanted to achieve my dreams, if I wanted to achieve my goals. And so from March last year till September, I kept listening to him, and then his messages actually transformed me. It gave me a different understanding of life, and then how to live a life with purpose. And so I think that's what helped me, and then I just decided to quit.
And you're talking about your future plan. You want to be a president.
Yes, I want to be
You want to go into politics. We'll talk about that. But so you didn't have to go to any rehab.
No.
You didn't have to go anywhere to seek help. You did it all by yourself.
I did it all by myself, willpower, and by the grace of God.
Wow, this is strange. This is different. This is indeed divine grace. You did it all by yourself and with prayers as well.
Prayers, absolutely.
Talk us through that process.
Well, so I remember the last belief I had. I was still listening to Dr. Mensa Otabil on TV, and then whilst I was listening to him, I was actually holding the weed in my hands. I was like, nah, it's over. I'm not doing this anymore. And so I put it in the toilet and I just flushed it away. And from then, I never ever went back.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I'll come back to that, but did your parents know about it? Did your friends know about it? Did your siblings know about it? Your immediate family, did they know about what you were going through?
Yeah, so my friends knew, obviously, and a friend of mine actually snitched on me to an aunt, and then my aunt told my mom.
Right.
And so my mom, the guy even told my aunt where I kept the weed in my room. So my mom, one time I was not in the room, and then my mom went into the room, and then she found the substance in my bedroom. So she approached me, she called me, my dad. They had a talk with me, and they advised me to stop. That was like after even 4 years of smoking. So I promised them I was going to stop, but I didn't, and I kept going until just last year.
So even your parents' advice didn't stop you.
Absolutely.
I'm sure people might have spoken to you. It didn't stop you, but it was your willpower.
Yes.
That stopped you. So you're saying it here on record that nobody can change anybody.
Nobody. You have to make up your mind, to make a change. That's all it takes.
You have to make up your mind to make a change, and that's all it takes. And so that is what pushed you to write this book, Breaking Up with Mary Jane.
Yeah, so I felt like, I need to share my testimony with people, because that's another way to stay off something. When you are saved, it's only right for you to share your testimony with others. And so I still have a lot of friends who smoke. I know there's a lot of people in the secondary schools and universities who are into this habit. And so I decided to write the book so that at least I can, first of all, inspire them to understand that it's possible, because a lot of people don't understand or don't believe it's possible, even though they've reached a point where they realize it's not helping them. And so with this book, I want to let them know it's possible, and also give them a guideline as to how they can go about it. Yes.
Would you say that, how many years ago did you quit?
Just last year.
Just last year.
Yeah.
So would you say that your immediate, the people around you contributed to you smoking, or you not being able to quit it?
Well, yeah, because the business I was working in before, I had access to marijuana pretty much every time. So, that environment was very perfect for that kind of lifestyle. But I wouldn't put the blame on them, because I was even the one with the weed most of the time.
You were the one with the weed.
Yeah, I was the one.
He was the one carrying the weed. We'll talk about breaking up with Mary Jane in a bit. But we went on the streets to find out people's view on weed, and of course its legalization. Take a look at our street sense. When we come back, more with John Hammett.
right now they are talking that we use weed to do medicine, all sorts of things, and some people are using it in bad way. That's not nice.
From baby no, if baby so enye. Me ko ye garam se kakra me hu se wi no, omo ye adwumaden de etimi boa omo. But when you adwumaden na wonye obi a wo ye hard work na se won pa adwuma bi a, eni kwa se wonum wi, emwa. But obi a wo ye hard de wonum a betima boa wo. Me sa me hu de wi wo no eye.
Oh, mfaswa ba ko ne say e ma wi amaman e wo wudi mu.
Wonum wi a wo bodam. Nti e ho hia so be num wi. Amagana nkola bebre asai. Nti e ho hia say wi ye mpo na aba. Because see a shebe be 7 years and 10 years later na ye Ghana nkola no wi na ye small yi bi amen nkola no aye te say wonum pala nti be ye te say be ye 10 years time ye nya akola bia e be fa no be ye omampeni wo Ghana ha te say Ghana mo fa no most of them no bia no wi nti e wi dia nye ke ko ye nyemi konni e dan la mo hi no na no to no kla wi o kla ba wi aka o nyemi no ni nu na shi o dan la mo be fine e wo so no.
So that was a sense on the streets about marijuana, and the last lady I felt had a point, and she said it all. She hit the nail right on the head, because a lot of youth are misusing the weed, and now that there have been calls for the legalization of weed. Hemet, how does that make you feel as an addict that you're back? You know, now you're back on track. You've even written a book, Breaking Up with Mary Jane, and now people are, pushing for the legalization of weed.
Well, I feel Ghana is not in a position to legalize weed right now. I mean, there's certain benefits of weed, industrial benefits, even the medicinal benefits, but this country is not really ready to make any substantial benefits from weed, because we can't even process it into any finished products, and we can't even make a lot from the exports, because we have cocoa and we're not even making a lot from exports of cocoa. So I think there's a lot of things that has to be done in Ghana before we can go ahead to legalize marijuana. So
it's for you, legalizing marijuana now is a no-no.
It's a no-no.
It's a no-no for John Hemet, and he says, yes, it's a no-no. I mean, there are a lot of things that we need to do as a country before we think of legalizing it. He had a point. I mean, we have cocoa. What are we doing with it? We have gold now. We have things. And what are we really, doing? We have oil now. What are we doing with it? So let's pause on the legalization of weed. John, thank you so much. But is your book on sale?
Yeah, it is.
Where?
It's actually only at the Accra Mall Starlight shop.
Okay.
And it's on Amazon as well.
Okay.
But what I'm doing is I'm embarking on a school tour. I'm visiting secondary schools across the country to share the story with them. And
when are you starting?
August.
Yeah. What school are you starting with?
Presec Legon.
Presec, is that your former school?
No, I didn't go to Presec.
Where did you go to?
I went to KJB Asatu Senior.
So why are you going to start there?
I'm definitely giving some.
You've heard that people are doing things at Presec. Wow. I'm sure King will join you, on the tour, so that he can also encourage people. Because King is one person I've always been saying. He's a very good boy. People see him and he doesn't smoke. So King is a good example for young men. So he will definitely follow you. I'll join you as well. But you've done so well. Drop your number so that people can call you. Probably they need a copy of it as well.
Sure. So the number is 0244 370 760. 0244 370-760.
John, thank you so much, and please promise us that you're not going back to Mary Jane.
Absolutely not.
You're not.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. God bless you for this decision that you've made. I want you to advise everybody who's watching, especially the youth. They might be confused about weeds. They might be wondering what exactly it is. Please talk to them. 1 second.
Well, life is very short, and then if you're going to be living, you have to live a life of purpose. And once you smoke and get high, you are disconnected from reality, so you're not able to focus on your purpose in this life. And so I urge all the youth of this country to stay focused and, accomplish their purpose in this life before they are gone.
You need to have a purpose in life. It is very, very important. Thank you so much, John. And all the best in your political endeavor.
Thank you.
We'll definitely interview you on that as well. But yes, John, he has, intentions of doing politics as well. I think he'll do well. He'll do great in that because he has a purpose. It's very important as a human being to have a purpose. And he's told you, if you have a purpose, you don't need Mary Jane. Mary Jane is not good. He has broken up with Mary Jane, and hence he has this book. So if you're going through that situation, you can can get this book and just learn how he did it. He did it all by himself. He had the willpower, and of course he had God as well. Without God, there's nothing you can do. He had God in the middle. You're still watching GMG Plus. King is back with that beautiful doctor you've all been waiting to see with the topic of halitosis. Don't go anywhere. GMG Plus continues right after this.